before TV, people would gather around the radio to listen to radio shows. People would be entertained by the stories and imagine what was going on through storytelling. That's what I'd like you to imagine is happening right now. Just picture, you're hunkered down next to your RCA stand radio, ready to listen to the brave story of Bessie Baxter Pine by Walt Kemp. East of Pinson Fork, Kentucky, near the West Virginia line, there lived a salty old curmudgeon, Mrs. Bessie Baxter Pine. Bessie drove a yellow school bus. Bessie wet nursed half the town. When my cousin Liz got married, Bessie sewed her wedding gown. Before sunup every school day, Bessie drove them mountain roads rounded up and down a strange assortment of uneducated toads. They'd come running out half naked, full of flapjacks, mush, and meat. They'd have kill each other scrambling for the bus's rearmost seat. Now it ain't I don't like children, but old Bess had 35, running up and down like mad baboons while she was trying to drive. To this day, I couldn't tell you how she kept her head on straight till she got them kids to school each day at 8:15. Bessie's bus, she called it Cousin, started out life as a Ford, but there was no bus built to tolerate that homicidal horde. There ain't just no motor vehicle that kids can't tear apart. Every scratch, every dent was like a barb to Bessie's heart. Every weekend, poor cousin needed fixing up real bad. I'd see Bessie at the junkyard, kinda lonely, kinda sad. But she kept that old heap running on them junkyard parts and prayers, plus a rebuilt Chevy engine that was some tender loving care. About a year ago, we had ourselves a steady 3-day rain, and the wind whipped through them mountains like a hungry hurricane. By the third day, East Pike County was too wet for ducks and toads, and the rain had washed out half of all them unpaved county roads. Most folks said, "Oh, Bessie's crazy. She's a fuzzy-headed fool, driving cousin round in cloudbursts just to get them kids to school." But they didn't know our Bessie, or they never heard her yell, "Any job worth doing is a job worth doing well." Close to 4 o'clock on the third day, cousin slithered off the road and went down a big embankment with its ever-loving load. Why old cousin didn't flip-flop, even Bessie doesn't know. But they headed for a river some 200 yards below. There were 16 kids aboard that bus, including 2 of mine, and their fate was in the aging hands of Bessie Baxter Pine. Once they plunged into the river, only moments might remain till them kids and Bessie would go down the muddy drain. Cousin slammed into the river and got hung up on a rock. Tons of water poured into the windows, drenching Bessie and her flock. In an instant, 16 children made a beeline for the door. They could scarcely hear each other scream above the river's roar. Bessie forced the back door open, but she felt old cousin's sway. Soon the rushing water of wall would sweep them all away. All that stood between them children and the good life's bottom line was a gal they never really knew, old Bessie Baxter Pine. She quick wrapped her rope around her waist and stood there at the door. She could see the muddy water slowly creeping up the floor. Time was crucial. Bessie knew it. It was time to do or die. With a mighty leap, she made it to a fallen tree nearby. From the tree, she somehow scrambled to the angry river's ledge and the safety of a narrow but above the water's ledge. But it wasn't Bessie's life that Bessie hoped to save that day. One by one, she pulled them children from a wet Kentucky grave. My involvement in the story still seems kind of like a dream. I was driving by when Bessie pulled the last kid from the stream. Using Bessie's rope, I hauled him from the ledge to the road, and thus hung a happy ending to this hairy episode. News of Bessie's heroism fanned out far from Pinson Fork. TV newsmen and reporters even flew in from New York. They took pictures, they wrote stories, they put Bessie on a throne. They ignored her when she asked if she could please be left alone. Bessie tried hard to be patient. They were on her night and day. Then folks dogged her, they pursued her, till she had to run away. Bessie didn't want no medals. She just wanted to be free. So she lit out one afternoon for Western Tennessee. No one's heard a word from Bessie since she slipped away that day. No one's ever tried to find her. We simply say she went away. But no matter where she's holed up, may the warm sun always shine on a real Kentucky lady, Mrs. Bessie Baxter Pine.